Hey guys, my name is Tiffany and welcome to episode 24 of Flea Market Video Game Hunting. This is going to be another 2-day episode, pickups from last Sunday and last Wednesday. I was going to pick up this Dead Rising game, but I didn't end up picking it up because it had a crack on the side of the disc. So I just decided to leave it. I didn't even ask her how much it was. Alright, so this day was a Sunday and there was a couple things that I wanted from the flea market that I didn't end up getting. There was a keyboard. The lady that gives me good deals had it at 40, but she said she would give it to me at 30. I really wanted the keyboard, but I said, you know what, instead of spending those 30 on just the keyboard, I'll just keep the money and I'll just keep game hunting. It was a Razer Chroma keyboard. Also passed up on a 1TB hard drive for $20. I just think it was too much and I really wasn't sure if it worked or not. This was from the same guy that I bought the PS4 controller. So if I would have gotten the keyboard and the hard drive that day, that was probably half of my budget right there. So I am more bummed out that I didn't get the keyboard than the hard drive. I really wanted the keyboard, but I already have a keyboard, so I'm pretty sure she'll still have them there if I go next Sunday. At first she said 50, then she went down to 40, and then she said if I really wanted it, she would give it to me at 30. So we'll see what happens with that. Would you guys have bought it? Alright, so with this vendor I did end up picking up 2 games. Yes, this Game Boy Advance game, which is nothing special, I know, and the Xbox original game called Phantom Crash. I've never heard of it, I'd never seen it, so I thought why not pick it up. I was going to pick up that PS2 game, but it was just too scratched, so I passed on that. And I picked up a Mario movie. What I didn't realize when I was at the flea market is that the disc inside is loose, so I'm probably going to have to watch that. Also, I forgot I set aside Cooking Mama to see what was in there, and I never checked the box, so it could have been anything that was in there. So for the 2 games and the movie, it turned out to be $3. So with this next vendor, I wasn't going to stop by because all I saw in the box was a bunch of movies, but good thing that I did check because I did find a PS2 game and a PSP game. The Naruto game is actually not the one that it says on the case, it's actually 4, and the PSP game is not actually Call of Duty, it's God of War Chains of Olympus, which I don't have, and he wanted $2 for both, so that was a great price overall. And as you could see, there was a lot of people, so I also didn't want to stop by and check. And it's not because of the amount of people, it's just that I have a action camera attached to my chest, so I don't want to make anyone feel uncomfortable at all. So I've never actually had someone say I don't want the camera to be in my face or anything like that, but I've had people wave and joke that, oh look honey, we're being recorded, stuff like that. So I asked the guy how much for the controller and he said $20. He also told me it's for the PS4, like I didn't already know that. So I don't know if he was trying to be helpful or not, but this seems to always happen. So a little example here, I asked how much a game system is and they explained to me that that's a video game console where you play video games on, assuming I've never played a video game before. Let me know if that's ever happened to you, because I usually get this every time I go to the flea market, at least once. Alright, so this lady was pretty pricey. She does have a lot of games, I know, but I ended up paying $15 for 2 games, and I was okay with the first game that I bought, but the second game I probably shouldn't have bought it. She said 8 for each, but then she said 15 for both, so I don't know, I kind of do regret buying it, but oh well, I already bought it. So she also had a PSP there, but it didn't have a battery. I didn't want to ask her either. She was like calling her son and asking her for prices, so I just left it, and I did end up picking up Bust a Move and this Crash game again, like I said, for 15. That's the most expensive thing that I bought at the flea market that day. I also know that there's going to be a couple games that I passed on that you guys are going to be commenting that I missed, and I probably won't see this lady next Sunday because the people that are usually in the parking spaces usually only go there once. Alright, so the last thing that I picked up that day was, you guessed it, a PS2 adapter. It was $1, and I did end up testing it on the PS2 that I bought that doesn't work, and guess what? It still doesn't work. I don't really know why I keep trying. It doesn't work, but I keep hoping that maybe one day it'll work. I don't know, out of nowhere, which is probably never going to happen, but oh well. Is anybody keeping track of how many PS2 adapters I have? I think this is the 5th or 6th one. Oh man. Alright, so that was everything that I picked up on Sunday, and I still do regret buying Bust a Move 99. Anyways, let's just jump into Wednesday. Alright, so there's a little story here. At this particular vendor booth, I ended up poking myself with a nail that was in some sort of leg or a chair of some sort. I just wanted to tell you guys that because I don't want you guys to be confused as to why do you all of a sudden have a band-aid on your hand. So I did end up picking up that Speed Racer game for the DS back there with some other stuff for $2. Here with this vendor, I ended up getting a great price on a lot of stuff. A bag of which you will see. I try to show it to you in a little clip, but that didn't end up going as well as I wanted to. The action cam has a wide angle lens, so I thought I would catch what was in the bag, but that didn't end up happening the way I wanted it to. Anyways, I did end up picking up that Adidas bracelet that you just saw and these Mickey Mouse cards also from 1991. I don't know why I picked them up, but I just did. Also, I found these Sega CD games. Oh my, I don't know what they were doing there really. Lucky I caught them though, and like I said, everything that I picked up was $3. I was trying to look for more. This was actually a baseball game, so I didn't end up picking that up. And also some more sports games for the SNES, but I didn't pick those up because they were sports games. I was going to come back here when I was done looking around the whole flea market, but it was just too hot that day. I couldn't stand the heat anymore. It's been really hot in California, so that doesn't really help when you're out at the flea market trying to look for video games. But I think I found everything that was meant to be for me, and I'm pretty happy with what I got at this booth. So as soon as I found those games there, I started looking in this little toy section. They had a lot of stuffed animals and other things like that. So I found some more Sega CD games, and I also found a Super Mario Galaxy soundtrack CD. Also, something that I passed up at this booth was a PS Vita grip for your handheld. I was going to pick it up, but I didn't because it had the textured grip that is kind of sticky, and you know how I picked up that Xbox 360 Razer controller? I ended up cleaning that and it was sticky when it was done drying, and I knew that this same texture was going to be the same thing if I took it and I cleaned it, so I just ended up leaving it. So with this CD, I thought there would be more Wii games. I did end up finding Wii games, but it was like Wii Fit and Wii something else, but I think it was also a fitness game. I'm not sure if that was all the games. I wonder also if there was actually PS Vita games, because there was PS Vita accessories, and you know those PS Vita games are super small. But yeah, PS Vita is also a handheld console that I want. I've never seen that console. I've only seen it at GameStop where they have, I don't know if they still have the PS Vita display, but that's the only place that I've seen it. I haven't seen it at the flea markets at all. I also found this game and I really was tempted to take it, but I didn't end up taking it because, I mean, what do I want with that, or what would I need with that? So, and I also didn't know if it was complete, but I didn't end up taking it. And here I found a PS Vita case. Alright, so with this next vendor, he was saying everything for a good price, and I ended up asking for the Super Mario 3 game for the NES, and he told me $10. I didn't end up picking it up, but I also ended up asking how much for the Michael Jackson vinyl, and he said $2. So at least that was a good price. So I forgot to include the vinyl in the recap portion of the video. So there's gonna be 3 recaps: the vinyl recap, the shirts recap, because I did buy 3 shirts this week again, and the final game and everything else recap. Alright, so with this next vendor, I was looking through the games. I had the games that I wanted, and he ended up saying he wanted 15 for everything that I had. I kind of second guessed it, and I ended up putting 2 games down, and then he told me, okay, take them all for 10. So for 10, I thought, why not pick them up? I was originally only gonna take Blitz and Loco Roco 2, but he said 10 for everything, so I took them all. I was also a little bummed because a lot of people have PSP movies and PSP games, and they never have the PSP. Like, what do you do with the PSP? If you're gonna sell all the movies and all the games, what would you still want with the PSP? Also, I just saw that Alien versus Predator, I think it was versus Predator, was actually a game and not a movie. It's hard to tell with these things. So I was gonna take the Dynasty Warriors game, but it wasn't in there. So as soon as I saw that the game wasn't in there, I started picking through other games to see if it was in there, but I didn't find it, so that was a bummer. And I left the case too. What is wrong with me leaving the cases? I forget to ask if I can buy the cases off of them. I was kind of thinking maybe not to get the PSP games because I don't have a PSP myself, but I thought, why not just, you know, keep buying them until I actually find one so I can have games to play on it. But it's kind of hard because I can't find an actual PSP that is fine, that works, that there's nothing wrong with it, that's not too expensive, not too out of my price range. But I mean, I will eventually find one, but this only makes me want one even more. Alright, so this next vendor was the guy that usually has stuff on the floor, sometimes 2 for $1, sometimes 3 for $1. Today he had everything 4 for $1, and like I said, it was hot that day, so I think he was gonna leave early because it was like 10:30, not even that late. So I ended up picking up this Lakers bag. I don't know why. These envelopes, this Wii AV cable, and these Monopoly cards. The Monopoly cards and the envelopes are not in the recap. So I found another Mario game on the NES that day, and he was asking $5, so I bought it. Why I bought it, I don't know. I don't have an NES, but it was a good price, so I just picked it up. So that was the last thing that I picked up that day, and here is a recap of the vinyl. This is my 8th vinyl in the collection, so here it is, and here's the other ones, and I have a couple hanging on the wall, framed. I don't know if you can guess the 2 vinyls in the back. These are surprisingly really expensive at the flea market. Sometimes they want $10 to $15 for it. I mean, you're at the flea market, so I don't like to spend anywhere over $3. And you guys might notice this shirt. I did buy that last week. It was a medium, so I got a small this time. I actually bought a medium because I couldn't find a small, but now I found a small. So, and shirts are 3 for $12 for those of you who are new to my channel. I was trying to look for that Zelda shirt that you saw in the video, but I didn't find that in my size. Alright, so guys, these are all the other pickups besides the shirts and the vinyl. Hopefully you guys enjoyed it. Thank you guys for watching. Thank you guys for taking the time out of your day to watch my videos. If you want to follow me on Twitter or Instagram, the links will be down below in the description. Happy hunting. Until next time, guys, I'll see you in my next video.